So my mission is to impact 10 lakh lives by helping them start their day in the best possible manner with the ultimate Sigma mindset. So that's my mission. So let's begin, guys. So, but before beginning, let me give you a quick outline of the rituals. So how the rituals are scheduled across this particular section, from starting from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. How these particular rituals are scheduled. So let's see. First, we begin with the priming. This is called the gratitude practice, where we prime ourselves with one of the best things that has happened to us till date. So it could be anything, like it could be the thing that happened yesterday, or it could be the thing that happened during the last week or last month or last year or last decade. It doesn't matter. It was anything. It was the best thing that has happened to you till date. So you are going to remember that particular thing. You are going to prime yourself with that particular, particular happening, that one of the best magical moment that has happened to you till date, where you expected 1%, but the universe or the God has given you 1000%. You felt like as if some magical thing has happened in your life. So that's what you're going to prime yourself with. That's what we call the gratitude practice. So we begin the day with the gratitude practice or the priming activity, where it sets the foundation for the day. And next we go with the prayer. So with prayer, what we try to do is that at right now we are vibrating at a certain frequency. So whatever the frequency that we are vibrating at, there is another supernatural frequency called God. So he is vibrating at a different frequency. He's the guiding force of the entire universe. So with this prayer activity, what we try to do is that we try to connect our frequencies with the supernatural frequencies of the God. So that way we are going to do this particular praying activity. So, because of doing this particular gratitude practice and prayer practice, what it will help us is that it will help to generate more energy, especially the gratitude practice. When we do it, it will help us to generate more energy, and the prayer will help us to bring more power. So, when we do this particular two set of activities, like the gratitude or the prayer priming activity and the prayer practice, what it will help us is that it will help us generate more energy and more power, where from the next step, where what we are going to do is that whatever the energy and power that we generated by doing this particular activities, we are going to channelize and we are going to focus that particular power and energy into creating something which is called a goal setting and visualization. So next we go with the goal setting activity, right? So where we set our goals in a pretty systematic manner, where it will help us to to give more power to us, right? So when we set the goals in a smart framework, when we use a smart framework, like we be specific, we make it measurable, we make it achievable, we make it realistic and time bound. What that particular goal does is that it will give us more power, to get out of the comfort zone and take more action, right? That's how the goal setting activity is going to help us, to set the goals in the smart way and to give us more power to achieve the goals. So that's how we are going to set the goals. And then what we are going to do is that we are going to visualize as if our goals has already achieved. So this way, by reaffirming our goals, what happens is that it will help us to take actions quickly. There is a gap between being in the comfort zone and being stepping out of the comfort zone and taking action. What the visualization practice does is that it shortens that particular gap. What is the difference between the winners and the mediocres is that they take a lot of time in order to switch between the comfort zone and to get into the action mode. So this particular goal setting and visualization activity, what it will does is that it will bridge the gap, or it will shorten the gap between the comfort zone and the action taking space. So that's where really it will save a lot of our time. It will help us take quick actions, more action. It will help us with a lot of things, right? And next, when we do this particular four activities, we go with the priming, we go with the prayer, we did the goal setting, and we did the visualization. After doing this particular four practices, whatever the energy and whatever the vibrations that we have generated, if we can couple it with meditative practices like mudra meditations, or self love practices, when we couple it with when we add a supplementary practices like this, what it does is that it will solidify the output that we have generated by doing this particular four activities. So whatever the four activities that we did, like priming, prayer, goal setting, and visualization, those four activities, when we you know After doing those four activities, when we do some supplementary practice like meditative practice or self-love practice, what it does is that it will intensify the vibrations, it will intensify the power or the energy that we generated by doing those four particular activities. And then we go with the subconscious reprogramming, where it will elevate our mindset, where it will install powerful beliefs in our mind, where it's gonna help us throughout the day, uh, to take action quickly, to not stop by any challenges or any hurdles that we face during the day. It will help us cut across to those challenges, or it will help us overcome those hurdles. So that way this subconscious reprogramming gonna help us throughout the day. It will install powerful beliefs in us, where we see every challenge as an opportunity, or we see every bigger challenge, or every greater challenge as a minute one. So that's how the subconscious reprogramming going to help us. So that's how we are going to we have designed this particular particular rituals format, where we do the priming activity first, and then we go with the prayer, and then we go with the goal setting and visualization practice, and then we had the supplementary practices like meditative practice and subconscious reprogramming, right? So that's how I have designed this particular outline for the ritual.